flat. Yeah, I am syncopating that. And then one thing that we have been doing if you hear him sing, the F7 and just pedal eighth notes F there, like a buildy type thing. And then the form flips just a little bit on the chorus.
It don't have a job, don't pay your bills.
And then what was the? Yeah.
The first one, yeah.
Everything else is fine. DS is fine. Code is fine. Take the first and second ending. The intro kind of doesn't exist. We might play a bar of it, but if he just comes in. Yeah. Just once where the lyrics are. You'll feel it. Hello. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right, let's do Hold Us Together. Give it a shot. Since we got it up. And I was writing in the chorus, but I was just like, I'll learn that paycheck this morning. right from the top. Sometimes that 2 bars doesn't exist. When he's singing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but we'll keep this up tempo. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and.
You don't have a job, won't pay your bills, won't buy you a home in Beverly Hills, won't fix your life in 5 easy steps, ain't the law of the land or the government, but it's all you need in love. Will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone.
Yeah,
It's waiting for you.
Let's take the tempo back, like just a couple clicks, just a little bit. Yeah.
It don't have a job, don't pay your bills, won't buy you a house in Beverly Hills, won't fix your life in 5 easy steps, ain't the law of the land or the government, but it's all you need in love. Will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother. It's waiting for you, knocking at your door. In the moment of truth, when your heart hits the floor and you're on your knees, and love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. This is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Okay, I'll go straight from the A7 to the D. I won't put that G in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just finish it out easy. Okay.
Cool. Good.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and that instrumental break will just jump right back to the verse. Yeah. Well, thank God they wrote it in. Some of it, at least. All right. Imagine.
Give it up for the band. Great way to open up this beautiful, lovely Sunday morning and this lovely service here at Unity of Richmond. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Richmond. We would like to welcome each and every one of you here this morning. Today, first, we would like to welcome our first-time visitors, our love streamers from home, and we want you to know that we love you, we see the God in you, we embrace you, and we welcome here at Unity of Richmond. We want you to know that we welcome all faiths, all creeds, and we are free of all discrimination on the basis of race, color, gender, national origin, discrimination, and sexual orientation. Here at Unity of Richmond, we are non-discriminatory and we support diversity. Welcome. At this time, I would like to present to you today's daily word, the daily word for Sunday, November 14th, 2021. Prosperity fills my life. Current flowing through my home's wiring provides light. But first, I must flip the switch to turn it on. Divine substance, the building block of creation, is the source from which my prosperity grows. But first, I must claim it in consciousness to live a prosperous life. The divine idea of prosperity is unlimited, more than sufficient to meet every need. I know true prosperity when I live this truth. Giving freely and generously keeps prosperity at the forefront of my consciousness. I know the more I give, the more of myself I place into circulation, the more I will experience. As I give of myself, I increase the flow of prosperity in my life and in the world. And he said to them, pay attention to what you hear. The message you give will be the measure you get. And still more will be given you. That is from Mark chapter 4, verse 24. Thank you.
Everybody, please stand and sing with us. Good morning. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the well. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
God morning. Let us all take a breath in at this time. Take a great big deep breath in. And join with me as we enter that sweet, calm place that we call affirmative prayer. Take another breath in. And let that breath fill in the space within us. The divine vessel gifted to us from love divine, source, divine essence, the force, Mother, Father, God. And understanding that we are the extension and the expression of the divine. And with this, we possess divine essence, divine power, which we collectively extend to Unity of Richmond. On this day of Sunday, November 14th, 2021, as we take in the message, the important message on living courageously in uncertain times, as we courageously face those uncertain times with the peace, love, and understanding, all understanding, the understanding that we are the divine essence of the great artist that put us together. And we understand that this great energy, the essence that is above us, below us, all around us, and within us. And because of this power within us, we express and contain and claim today the education from this message. We give thanks for Reverend Valerie's message. We give thanks for each person here. We give thanks to our love streamers at home. We give thanks for all of the elements that comprise of this service. We give thanks to the band and their musicianship and the love that they radiate through their sonic waves and notes and the love that resides between the notes. So that when we leave this place, we will be armed with the courage to face and change the things we can with divine wisdom, the wisdom we possess. Everyone at this time, breathe. And we give great thanksgiving for Unity of Richmond, and we lift up this lovely congregation, this lovely church, and we lift it up to you for more blessings to come. Because now we are experiencing the dawn. And I say to each and every one of you, welcome to the dawn. And so it is. For our prayer for unity. Unity of Richmond is a resilient, thriving, healthy, spiritual community that is consistently aware of God as the source of unlimited substance and supply from all streams of life. New channels of prosperity are opening and flowing to and through and as us to fulfill our mission and purpose. And so it is.
Good morning, Unity of Richmond. And good morning, all you online folks. So, I guess most of you know me as the preacher's wife. But you may not know that I'm also on the board of the Alliance for Unitive Justice. So who is aware of the school to prison pipeline? Okay, so we have some people who are kind of woke. Excellent, okay. Who wants to do something about it? Who wants to learn about an opportunity that you can take a class with Reverend Valorie that will help you know about unitive justice, that will move us from the punitive justice system that we currently have, and that you will be able to invoke those principles and practices in your everyday life? Join me. Join me. All right, so that is going to be a course for 5 weeks, November 17th. Let's see if I can read this. In person and online, okay. And it's love offering basis. So that's some bang for your buck. Okay, also we're having a remembrance service. So this is a time of year where we can remember our loved ones who've gone on, two-leggeds or four-leggeds. Please join us. That is going to be on December 8th. Ooh, and then Christmas tea. Christmas tea, we've got that on December 12th following the service. We need some bakers and shakers who want to bring some of your extra lovely food and tea, and you can see Kristen after the service to sign up for that. Let's see here. We have the grief group, which starts today. That's today. And that is going to be following the service. There's a Zoom link somewhere. I think that's up there. So that will be today. Also, and this sounds really fun, the art card play shop. Who's facilitating that? Susan. Yes. Woohoo! Yes. That really sounds fun. I really want to participate in that. So that's coming up on, let's see, wait a minute, next Saturday, November 20th. 10 a.m. to 1. There's a cost of $15. You can register in the gathering space, or I'm sure Susan would also love to hear from you. And then there is the art pop-up. So that is going to be, let's see, November 21st. And that's going to be before and after the service. This is an opportunity to stuff those stockings and get those gifts. And I know we've got some great artists here in this community, so anybody who's interested in participating with that, they can sign up in the gathering space. And I'm really serious about this unitive justice class that Val is going to be doing. It's unitive dialogue for peacemaking and community building. If you want to be a mover and a shaker and a peacemaker, this is the class for you. Please, please join us.
Okay, continuing on, there is the holiday raffle. We are still in need, and we are still seeking volunteers to chair and to also collect donations in the form of gift cards and services. This promises to be an interesting, very exciting raffle. So please, who did they go to talk to about that or sign up? Kristen? See Kristen for details on the holiday raffle. There is the Unity Day at the Matinee. Now, this is a live production. Am I correct? This is a live production directed by Julie Fulcher Davis, and this is a Unity Up On Air event. This will take place on Sunday, November 21st at 2 p.m. at the Perkinson Center for the Arts. You're looking for groups of 10 or more. It is $28 per ticket. It's that time of year again, okay? Color in the air. You see bronze, orange, reds, browns, okay? Holiday decorating. Let's bring in the spirit of autumn into the space, the spirit of Thanksgiving. Well, it takes place the Saturday after Thanksgiving, not only for that, but also for the holiday season in general. November 27th, beginning at 10 a.m. Simply show up or sign up to volunteer in the gathering space. Few dates for you to save, to put into your phone. Of course, there is the Christmas Eve candlelight service. That will be on Friday, Christmas Eve, December 24th at 5:30 p.m. And there you go. Yeah, right. Exactly what she said, at 7 p.m. Okay? We will find out the information and deliver that correct information to you later. Okay? But it's on Christmas Eve. Okay? Hey, if you're here 90 minutes before, soak up the spirit of Christmas. Okay? All right. Soak it up, because 2 days later, 2 days later, we are going to present to you the Kwanzaa celebration service. We have been working really hard in the Cultural Awareness and Diversity team to bring you an event that will never be forgotten here at Unity of Richmond. We are going to have drummers. We are going to have dancers. We are going to give you the spirit of Kwanzaa and the Ngubu Saba. So please join us. We want you to know that this is a non-religious event, and this is open to everyone, for everyone. And if you have company coming in, bring your company over. And we are going to have a Kwanzaa feast downstairs in the gathering space right after the service. And that is at 11 a.m. And, of course, the New Year's Eve Watch Night service, which is a simulcast, live stream event between Unity of Bon Air and Unity of Richmond. That is Friday, December 31st at 7 p.m.
And just when you thought it was over, we have one more opportunity for everybody here. The first Sunday of December 5th, is going to be our annual Katrina concert, our retrospective 2021. We're still figuring out details on time, so I'll keep everybody posted on that. Look out for the website, ask Kristen, ask me, anybody. And if you haven't been to one before, we really just take the year and sum it into an hour and a half together. And we go over songs that we love to do, your songs, our songs. It's a really fun evening. There's a suggested love offering of 15, but nobody will be turned away. Come hang out with the band and us, and it's going to be an awesome night.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, just for clarity, the Christmas Eve service is at 5:30. We're doing an earlier service on Christmas Eve this year. All right? And is my microphone working? Okay, very good. So isn't it exciting that we have all of this going on this year? I mean, think where we were last year at this time. And now we are just brimming with activities and things to get us together and to share our joy. So thank you, thank you. Let us say our prayer for prosperity together. And then we'll do our unity principle. God is the source of all supply. I believe that my good is now flowing to me so richly and so fully that I have an abundance of money to spare and to share today and always. I believe that true prosperity includes abundant health, wealth, and happiness. I bless all the good that is with me now. I bless the increase. I bless all of the others in the unexpected income program. And I know now that we prosper together in every way. And I give thanks for this good. So it is, and so I let it be. And our first principle, there is one presence, one power in the universe and in my life, God the good. And our mission statement is, we share the good news that God is unconditional love expressing as the Christ consciousness in each person. And our vision is that we are transformed lives, transforming the world. And now our music team has a special selection. And our singer today is Armand Leek. We welcome him back.
Good morning. Precious memories, unseen angels, sent from somewhere to my soul. How they linger ever near me in the sacred past unfold. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious Father, loving Mother, fly across those lonely years. In old home scenes from my childhood, in fond memory appears. Everybody singing it. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Ian. mother praying, father too on bended knee. The sun is sinking, shadows falling, but their prayers still follow me. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever touch my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious memory of my soul. Thank you.
Armand Leake, thank you. Ian Forrest and Ryan, the band. Wonderful. Woo! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I'm going to start up a little differently today. I'm going to start with a joke. And it's a short one, so it's not going to take too long. Did you hear about the first restaurant to open up on the moon? It has great food, but no atmosphere. All right. My friend Sandy's been sending me jokes. I told her, hey, one of these days I might show up in my Sunday talk. All right. Well, on the topic of living courageously in uncertain times, I'd like to start with a couple of quotes. The first one is Napoleon Hill. He said, every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And the other quote is from John Sanford. Every human being has the capacity of becoming a well-rounded person, but that capacity must be realized by earnest desire, insight, resourcefulness, and a determined wrestling with one's own inner powers. Today's topic of living courageously in uncertain times is an important topic for us because we are in a new dawn, as Roy said. We're in a new dawn, and often what our language now says is before the pandemic, ... right? Let's get back to the way things were before the pandemic. And sometimes, when we have a loss, we want to get back to the way things were before that loss. In a few years, we'll be looking back and we'll be defining our life calendar or whatever, looking back, saying BC, before COVID, and AC, after COVID. In personal and collective crisis, we reference life as we know it before the loss and how we experience it after the loss. And these crises, though, they really get our attention, don't they? They take us places we never intended to go, nor wanted to go, but yet we are propelled into change. Carl Jung picked up on the wisdom of the ancient Chinese text, the I Ching, or Book of Changes. And there's a symbol, hexagram number 6, that represents conflict or adversity. And it's just symbols on coins that are made out of dashes, basically, but there's a line in the middle, and above the symbols or the dashes are arranged to represent heaven. And below that line, there are dashes that represent the abyss, or water. Now, the abyss and water is representative of our emotions, our human emotions. So today I'm going to speak about how we can free ourselves from limitation and move out of the abyss, and how to live courageously no matter what. And I wouldn't use the word fearlessly, because we do experience fear and doubt from time to time. And that is part of our human nature. Our egocentric nature, though, wrestles with God nature in a process that John Sanford, in his book, The Man Who Wrestled with God, calls the psychology of individuation. And in his book, which I'm going to share some from today, he takes stories from the Hebrew scriptures and talks about them in the ways that they play out in our consciousness. Change is a disruption of energy flow, or a shift between power, heaven, the abyss, being and doing, yin and yang. And when we experience change or conflict, we stand on that precipice of the abyss, of our human emotions. And then we wrestle with our inner power, our divine nature, similar to Jacob in that Hebrew scripture story, who wrestled with an angel all night. On that precipice, we can either look down or we can look up. We can use the experience as an opportunity, a blessing to sync up with our spiritual consciousness, our creativity. And from that place, we can resolve the problem, or just simply create something different altogether. But if we stay stuck in that abyss, then we shut down, we protect ourselves from the vulnerability that we feel and the frustration that we feel and the uncertainty. And so, yes, sometimes we freeze, we run away from it, or we resist it, the experience. But there is another way. And we know in Unity that the way is through tapping into our divine nature through practices of prayer, meditation, and mindfulness. Because the answers aren't outside and fixing the outer circumstances. It's within the awareness of our beingness, within our higher consciousness. And our divine nature will move us through these changes, through any conflict or experience, and help us bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be. And these gaps of awareness, it is a sure sign that it is time to sit down. It's time to sit our butts down and pause, go within, pray, meditate, and connect with that divine nature. Because expanded awareness can accomplish anything. Divine ideas come from that expanded awareness. And it's our goal to demonstrate mastery and align with this vibrational source, which is the land of peace, of love, of fulfillment, of ease and of grace. So in order to get unstuck, we must fill our cups. We must recharge. We must rejuvenate. And so as we approach the holiday season this year from a different perspective than where we were last year or the year before, I just want to say, don't try to recreate what was before. We're in a new time, a new dawn, and it's time for something new. So when things change, we must change and grow and be and do something different. And use what we learned from the experience. Use everything for our good. Yet often we don't take that time to reflect. We don't take the time to be alone and face what Jung calls the shadow. But that is the way through. The pathway to peace and fulfillment and love, no matter what the outer circumstances, is getting still with prayer and meditation and filling your cup. And Oprah Winfrey, in her address that she gave to her school of graduating students, she said this. First, you must take the time to sit and recharge. She says the way through any challenge is to stop and ask yourself, what is the next right move? And then in the next moment, ask again, what is the next right move? You are not defined by failure or any one moment in your life. And there is not one thing that has not happened to make you better and rise. You need to fill your cup so you have enough left over to give to others. And if you don't, then you will dry up. Everybody needs to fill their cup. Your number one job is to fill, this is still Oprah, your number one job is to fill your cup and make yourself whole, or to realize your wholeness. This is the foundational base of success. Wholeness, well-being, and everything. Fill your cup. Realize your wholeness with Spirit. Now, sometimes, and we need to know where we are, and we need to know where we're going. And sometimes, where we've come from is pretty traumatic, messy, ugly, but we are not defined by any event or circumstance. Now, in the book, The Man Who Wrestled with God, the author John Sanford uses the story of Jacob being told by God to go back and visit his brother in the land of Esau. That's where his brother, whom he had betrayed and stolen his birthright from years before. He had matured and he had advanced spiritually, and God told him, go see your brother. He was afraid. He thought his brother could be he might want to kill him. He might want to harm his family. But he listened to the guidance, and on the way he stopped for the night. He sent his families in different directions so that they couldn't all be accosted, and in case that happened, to keep them safe. And then he stayed the night by this stream, and during the night a being came and jumped upon him. And here's what it says in Genesis 32 simply, and there was one who wrestled him until daybreak. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night with things that you're wrestling with in your mind, prevents you from going back to sleep? Something you're struggling with, something you have difficulty turning off. I know I do. Then when morning comes, it isn't quite so ominous, and I feel really tired after wrestling all night. In the morning, Jacob would not let that angel leave until he found out what this all meant, why he was there, and what this whole thing meant. And he said in Genesis 32:37, I will not let you go until you bless me. That's what happens. Until we let go, until we forgive and find the blessing in whatever has happened, it doesn't let go of us either. So after that, the angel gave him a new name, Israel, which translated means wrestler with God. Names reveal your inner essence back then and even today on certain spiritual paths, that when we move through a dark night of the soul, when we move through and into a new consciousness, we take on a new name because we're not the person that we were before. We were transformed in our consciousness. So he got the new name, Israel, which also means peace. In Sanford's words, what began as a struggle in his mind with his shadow led to a struggle with the unknown. And so with the whole of consciousness, seized Jacob's ego and wrestled with it. Now, Carl Jung called the archetypal capital S self, or God image, in the soul, a mystery that cannot be experienced, that can be experienced but is never rational. So, to bless him, the angel touched his hip, and Jacob walked away with a limp. A wound that represents a spiritual wound. This is still John Sanford's explanation. The spiritual wound, which is not to be confused with a neuroses or a crippling injury. It's a spiritual wound that is not limiting, but that through which the life of God pours. The end of the story is that Jacob and his brother were reconciled because they both had grown in consciousness. So the shadow that Jacob wrestled with is something we all wrestle with. It's our past, it's our outer and inner critics. It takes us everything we have to overcome sometimes. Theodore Roosevelt gave a speech called the Man in the Arena speech, and in that speech he talks about that critic, and he says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails, at least he fails daring greatly. And I would add, daring bravely. So we may have to confront our critics, our outer critics and our inner critics. And that shadow appears from time to time. It's relentless, it judges, it criticizes, it points out failure or lack, it compares, comes out when we're feeling insecure and afraid, and it comes out with great bravado and causes us to either shrink and be really small or overinflate ourselves to be really big. But it causes us to be little self-centered instead of capital S self-centered. Heaven or the abyss. So when we are aligned with that spiritual self, capital S, then we are in line with that spiritual beingness, the consciousness, and aligned with our purpose in life. When you know you have a purpose in life, and live your life in service to that purpose, because you know that's who you came here to be, then you are participating in that arena. You are here fully human and fully divine. And we must know where we're going and where we came from, so we don't get tripped up by those snares. And we have to keep our eye on that vision and on that purpose so that we can redirect our consciousness from the abyss to heaven. The Israelites in the Hebrew Scriptures wandered in the wilderness. They were seeking a land of milk and honey and freedom. When the whole time, and they did this for 40 years, the whole time it was right across the river. The whole time, it's right here. We don't get to our peace or to our wholeness. Wholeness is the way. Peace is the way. Love is the way. So to bridge that gap in our consciousness, we need to know where we're placing or notice where we're placing our attention so that we can redirect our attention. And that's when we're caught up in that. That is wilderness. Sometimes we compare, and some of those snares are comparing ourselves with others, comparing our gifts and talents with others, comparing our achievements, comparing life the way it was before to where it is now, and all of those kinds of things. But we can redirect that. We can work with that when we catch ourselves doing it. So, as Oprah says, when you find yourself not feeling satisfied in a job, you can shift how you view your job. You can do it with the intent of doing service to something greater than yourself. This applies to church service, to family, to community. So what can we do to recover that from that sense of danger when the crisis calls us or wakes us up? I've already said it. Pray, meditate, know thyself. Discover what fills your cup. And if you want to know your purpose, get still. Set your intention and be with that until you're guided to that purpose, until you're guided to the steps on how to carry out that purpose. It may not all, and you know it's not all in one sitting, right? It's ongoing, daily. There are many examples about what people did in the past year during the COVID lockdown. And I decided to look and see what some of those were. And these people, these examples that I found are people who, during that time, found ways to serve, found ways to have purpose to humanity in a time that was very dark. And here are a few samples. And one came from right here in Richmond, Virginia. And it was a network that had a Hometown Heroes series, and people were nominated by others, for what they had done. Anyway, Sheba W. here in Richmond, Virginia. They said, Sheba has always been a fighter for justice. When the pandemic started, our state proposed releasing close to 2,000 people from prison. Knowing the devastating effect of sending people back into society and what it could have on their families and the overall community, Sheba started to raise money to provide temporary shelter, food, and supplies for them for up to 14 days. She did a no-contact food drop, served people that she may never meet. And she did all of that while continuing to support her family when they were all home from school or college while being furloughed from her job. Now, Salima in New Jersey, she's a therapist. And here's what one of her clients said. A therapist named Salima did a heroic thing. I was furloughed and had to suspend my therapy sessions due to lack of income. Salima reached out to me and insisted on providing therapy anyway because she knew I was going through a difficult time. As she continued to digitally reroute her upcoming events surrounding Black maternity mortality awareness, she rose to the aid of Black people in need of therapy, and she began a campaign to raise $15,000 to provide therapy for Black people during this social shift. And even now, Benj Pasek matched her donations. He's the composer who composed This Is Me and other Broadway, from The Greatest Showman and other Broadway musicals. He matched her funds. Yeah. Brian from New York City, he has Harlem Doggy Day Spa. And he was nominated because he went above and beyond to assist pet owners during the COVID pandemic who could no longer afford to groom their dogs for hundreds of dollars. So he had his portable grooming truck, delivered grooming to financially distressed pet owners, and to remove the pets' winter coats. She also went across the country from New York City all the way to LA doing this. So. And last, a 15-year-old young lady named Jade was nominated by her mother there in Massachusetts. She says, my 15-year-old empathized with kids who were home from school during the pandemic, and she decided to share her love of coding with 5, 8, and 9th graders by sharing a virtual teaching program. Realizing that she was onto something, she also knew that summer camps were going to be suffering in person, so she collaborated with local community youth services to run a 4-week pilot coding program for youth. And now at the time of this article, she was heading a team of 16 high schoolers to teach tech. There is an inexhaustible source of divine ideas from divine mind that we can tap into and align with expanded awareness of prayer and meditation. If you are struggling, speak to a prayer practitioner, speak to a friend, call a prayer chaplain, call Silent Unity, and know that you are not alone, ever. Practice the self-care by taking that time to fill your cup. And that is where we sync up with Source. And you know, the process of writing a song, the process of painting a painting, the process of dance, all of those creative activities can be meditative and bring out that divine expression. This last week, I'm always collecting things as I'm preparing for sermons, and this last week I happened to run across a meditation by Abraham, and I listened to it, and Abraham says, recognize the harmony or the discord in your thoughts. We attempt to control our conditions, our outer conditions, which are already based upon the past. Our inner being knows where we stand in relation to our human experience. Our inner being knows the vibration of clarity and how to find that path of clarity and how to be satisfied with what is right now, even though we don't yet see the results of our intentions or desires. In closing, I'm going to share with you a French poem by Guillaume Apollinaire. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we're afraid, they responded. Come to the edge, he said. We can't, we will fall, they responded. Come to the edge, he said. He pushed them, and they flew. Everything that occurs in life has value. Stay in the arena and dare greatly to serve your purpose in life. Stay focused on that vision and that purpose by touching the stillness of prayer and meditation, and you will find the promised land. You will discover the blessing. You will discover who you are, what your purpose is, and while on the precipice of the abyss, instead of looking down, you will fly. And so it is. Thank you. And now we have a very special treat, a gift from Imaja Jubilee, sharing a poem and accompanied by Chris Mosley, one of our fine local community musicians, before we do meditation.
Wonderful. Can you hear me? Before I get started, I want to say this poem was inspired by the Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. So be, breathe, and allow it to be. Be, breathe, and allow it to be. SYBD, set your butt down. Sit where movement becomes stillness. Sit where sounds become silence. Sitting, seated, you become one with thee. I sit with me, for me, celebrating calmness and inner serenity. SYBD, sit your butt down. Sit where you allow. Sacred so you'll notice. Sitting, I now know myself, and you can too, more deeply. More deeply. Seated, we're seated in thee. That's where we be. I flow adhering to the wisdom that God, that source, that infinite, so miraculously bestows on me. SYBD, sit your butt down. Sit your butt down. Sit your butt down. Seating to align. Sitting to align. Seated, I observe the thoughts that go flowing by. The synchronized energies, that's what they be. In my brain they flow, just like the billowing soft white clouds that flow through the sky on a clear blue day. Breathe and be. SYBD, sit your butt down. Sit to listen. Listen with your ears and with your heart. Sitting to create and allow that sweet inner peace to permeate through all of you. Sit and be in the presence, showered by Source, infinite intelligence, Father, Mother, God. Amazing, amazing grace. Seated, my child, you have no desire to participate in drama, emotionally unavailable humans, and those who say you are the devil because you wear dangling golden earrings shaped like an ankh, because you are bold and you wear red nail polish and you put that brightly colored red lipstick on your lips that's flaming and your red hair. It doesn't matter. Only humans care. Now breathe, be, and breathe. SYBD, sit your butt down. Sit to be twixt, twain, and tween. Sitting, you get to breathe and inhale and exhale with the rise and fall of your chest. And it becomes clear. Everything becomes clear. Such clarity is revealed. Seated, tween, there's a connection that is filled with grace. And it grounds you and me in the nowness of this moment. Is where we be. We dwell in the light because we were made by the light. It overshadows and it kisses all the darkness away. It kisses all your darkness away. You can say, when it kisses all the darkness away, my soul is happy and all is well. Now breathe, be, and breathe. SYBD, sit your butt down. Sit, sitting, seated. I choose to honor those things that make me unquestionably, uniquely, undeniably me. I sit to embody my sensuality, sitting outpouring vibrations of my own sexuality. Seated, because there is no neutrality, because I claim my right unapologetically to embrace all of what the divine has created me to be. A sexual being, a human being, a spiritual being, filled with passion and love and light. And all that is required of me, all that is required of you, all that is required of we, they, and them, all becomes well when we all remember to SYBD. We sit, we sit, we sit down, 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 and we experience the oneness, the wholeness. We roll wholly from our head to our toe. And we feel it, we embrace it, and we know it because we are made in love, by love, for love, to be loved. And we learn this when we sit our butts down. Ashe, ashe, namaste, amen. We breathe and we be and we let it be. Thank you.
Dr. Imaja Jubilee, Chris Mosley, thank you. Thank you. So let us, we're already sitting down. Let's take this time to get quiet and allow the fall of your breath in and out to continue. Relax and close your eyes or gaze softly ahead of you. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you feel the pulse of life? It's within you, all around you. And when you're still, you know what's right. It's in each prayer sent to the heavens. It's in each kind word, thought, and deed. It sustains you in the darkness. It provides your every need. So we let our mind sink into the heart right now, allowing Spirit to rejuvenate, renew, and fill our cup. Our vessel, our physical vessel, quickening all of the muscles, cells, organs, and tissues, aligning with the divine blueprint of wellness and wholeness. And we allow divine mind, divine source to fill our brains and our spirit. With your personal message in this time of quiet and stillness right now. And as we come to a close of this time together, this moment, we just feel gratitude. Gratitude for all that we have been fed this day. Gratitude for the constant flow of Spirit as our companion. And know that you can always come back, take a peaceful pause, and so it is. You may take a deep breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then we will prepare for our giving and our offering. And some more musics from Armand Leake. So those of you online and those of you who are here, if you're already giving consistently, digitally, we just bless and see these offerings going forth to bless our mission and our purpose as we transform lives and transform the world together. So let us take our prosperity blessing, divine love. Oh, I'm doing your part. Oh, it's supposed to be you. Well, and you're standing right there. I'm supposed to bless them afterwards. All right.
What is it? As I quote from Barbara every day, he tells me divine order, okay?
Yes,
divine order.
divine order.
So, well, first is the prayer chaplains, and I want to talk about in your message the importance of those tools of prayer and meditation and being in that place of stillness. So do we bring the prayer chaplains up still? Do we do that? Or do we just invite you to know that if there's some counsel that you need after the service, or you need something or someone to pray with, because there's strength in prayer numbers, our prayer chaplains are here. Please be also cognizant that whatever you discuss and pray over with your prayer chaplains will be held in the strictest confidence. Also, at this time, would like to thank the band, okay? And Armand Leake for bringing us some bit of nostalgia. You opened up our precious memories in each of us individually. Thank you. Audiovisual team, thank you for everything that you do. It is so greatly appreciative. Our ushers, and to piggyback on the musicians, Mr. Chris Mosley, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Dr. Imaja Jubilee,
Yes.
SYBD. Okay, and at this time, let's bring in our ushers. And join me in the prosperity blessing. Divine love expressing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
You don't have a job, don't pay your bills, won't buy you a home in Beverly Hills. Won't fix your life in 5 easy steps. Ain't the law of the land or the government, but it's all you need. And love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And I be my brother's keeper till the whole world will know that we're not alone. It's waiting for you, knocking at your door. In the moment of truth, when your heart hits the floor, and you're on your knees, and love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And I be my brother's keeper till the whole world will know that we're not alone. This is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the first day of the rest of your life. 'Cause even in the darkness you can still see the light. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Everybody, this is the first day of the rest of your life. 'Cause even in the darkness you can still see the light. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. One more time. This is the love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And I'll be my brother's keeper till the whole world will know that we're not alone. Thank you.
Just for your information, that was Armand Leak, not me. Even though the PowerPoint says it's me. All right, thank you, thank you. We give thanks for these gifts that support our mission in creating a spiritually awakened world. And as we do our prayer for protection, we have a change, so let us do it together. The light of God surrounds us. We are light. The love of God enfolds us. We are love. The power of God protects us. We are power. And the presence of God watches over us. We are presence. Wherever we are, God is. We are divine. And I want to recognize our youth today. Yes. Yes, we had some youth. Mary Beth. Oh, you've got the girls with you. And yes. See? Yes, you are walking as the light. Do we have, would you like to share something that you did today? All right. You did poetry? Oh.
We made a thankful tree.
A thankful tree. Oh, a Thanksgiving tree. How wonderful.
We read the book Stone Soup. Do any of you know that beautiful book? Yes, wasn't, and the girls loved that. And then we made, how many leaves did you make?
I made 17.
So she 17 grateful leaves. And Eleonora made like 10, right? At least, because you kept adding them. What was your last thing you were thankful for that you remember?
I'm thankful for God.
The last thing she was thankful for is God. That's what she said. For those of you online, because I know that the mic's not picking up everything here, we are so glad. And we have a new friend with us today. Dessa and her mom, Jamie. Welcome. We're so glad you're here today. We're so glad you're here today. And thank you, Mary Beth. Thank you. All right. So our children and our teachers, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Yes. All right. Now our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy.